we have some people in the comedy world. One of them is he's a comedy manager. He's and this story was told to me secondhand. He's Jewish, loves the state of Israel, loves just a really intense Jew. Actually, interestingly, like has an obsession with how horrible the Holocaust was, is also a Sephardic Jew.
Can he come for dinner? I like him already.
But he's a Sephardic Jew. I'm like, you guys weren't involved.
You don't count as a Jew.
It was an Ashkenazi Jewish genocide, but whatever. No hate towards our Sephardic brothers and sisters. We have a Sephardic Jew in our family, so
yes.
all love.
Please continue.
But he's talking about how horrible the Holocaust was. 6 million Jews died. How can people ever question that number? How can people ever... And someone else who was there was like, totally, 6 million Jews died. How could you ever question that number? He was like, he goes to the guy, he was like, also like, there were black people were killed in the Holocaust, disabled people, gay people, gypsies were killed in the Holocaust. Yep. He was like, do you happen to know like the total number of everyone that died in the Holocaust, not just Jews? And without thinking about it, he goes, well, there'd be no way to count. I mean... Because how could you ever count?
Oh, because 6 million is so specific, but we can't count for the others.
He was like, I mean, it would be impossible how could you ever put a number to that? Anyway, it was really funny. I think there is a total number, by the way. Like, I think it's 9 or 10 million, something like that. I do think there's like a total estimated number. It was just funny that was his knee-jerk reaction.
Right, exactly.
Welcome back to Mommy Issues with Lucas Zelnick.
And his mommy.
And his mommy.
Yeah.
Mother.
Mom. Yeah.
If you watched last week's episode, we just recorded that. So we're trying to change up the vibe.
There were a lot of tears.
Yeah, there were a lot of tears. So we're trying to bring a more fun vibe to this episode. But we're not going to pretend like
last week
we're recording this a week later. Because we're not. We're recording this 1 pee break later. So allow us grace as we
transition
to a more comedic space.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to play our first advice request of the week.
Okay.
People keep thinking I'm a Nazi, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm not a Nazi. I'm just autistic, and have been my special interest has been on Nazis and World War II since I was about 8 years old. And at any opportunity to talk about Nazis, I will talk about them. I'm just very interested in the history. I think they're evil. Like, I don't like them. But I don't know. I guess because I talk about them so much, people think I'm a Nazi. I've been learning German for a few years, so I kind of speak German. I do kind of have a...
She speaks German.
Oh, okay, fine.
Which, by the way, I'll admit, as a Jew, whenever I meet someone that speaks German, including a German person, it's a bit of a turnoff.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Especially if they're 70 or older and I have to ask them where they were during the war, yes.
She said she does have a thing for blondes, which doesn't help.
I've been learning German for a few years, so I kind of speak German. I do kind of have a thing for blondes.
Aryans.
Which definitely doesn't help, but it's not a big thing. Then I'm not that fussed about appearances. And I'm not white, I'm Indian. Which kind of made me think that I don't need to be, like, announcing to everyone I'm not a Nazi before I talk about them for 10 hours. But I do have to specify, which I don't know. I don't want people to keep thinking I'm a Nazi. So do I just have to conceal my interests to stop people?
Can I just say, secretly learning about Nazis makes you look like more of a Nazi than just learning about it in the open.
This is fascinating. Yeah.
People assuming that I might be a Nazi because I really don't want to be a Nazi. And I'm not. Like, I know for a fact I'm not. And I'm not joking. I feel like this sounds really ridiculous, but I keep having, like, I started university this year, and I've had to clarify to many people that I'm, like, acquaintances with. Like, people have asked me, like, when you are interested in Nazis, what do you mean? And I don't know. I just thought, why, I'm Indian. I thought it would be kind of obvious that I'm against white supremacy and, like, generally countries taking over other countries and, like,
Or
killing people. I'm a human, not a fan of killing people. I don't know. Is this I don't want to say the word solution, but is the fix to this not
Final solution?
talking about Nazis?
She wants a solve for this that's not a final solution.
Speaking German and, like, having the hobby of learning German makes people think the wrong things. Like, oh yes, I'm just learning German and I have a thing for history. I do like history in general. Just gives people the wrong message. But I really thought that being someone who's not white would make this not a problem, but it is. So if any suggestions, that would be great. Maybe I'm just too autistic to navigate the expectations people have when you are obsessed with Nazis. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
You've come to the
Right
a
place.
Jewish enough place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we what? We embrace you.
Yeah. You're not an anti-Semite in our book. You're certainly asking a Jewish comedian.
Yeah.
So you're willing to speak
And a
with
Jewish
me.
mother.
And a Jewish mother.
Yeah.
Do you have any pets? What are their names? I'm worried about maybe a dog named Hitler. You know.
Okay, are you going for? Go ahead.
No, you
first.
go. I don't know what to say to this person. I just think it's a hilarious predicament to be in.
Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar with what it means to have autism, many autistic people have deep dive interests on particular topics. They narrow in, like Lee's friend Nate, trains. He knows everything.
It really
about,
is trains.
Yeah,
Trains is kind of hack, right?
it's trains.
With Lee's friend Nate, it's really trains.
Yeah, he knows everything about every
But you know,
subway
trains
line.
is like the offensive. It's like a Jewish person being a doctor and a lawyer at the same time. Is like an autistic person actually liking trains. I mean, I know it happens.
How many autistic people do you know that like trains?
A lot. That's
Like
the whole
who?
thing.
Who?
I can't.
Like who?
Nate. Lee's
Oh, yeah,
friend
you
Nate.
didn't know that until just now.
Wow. Okay. So
He knows everything about the subway. He knows where every single train goes. He likes to go to Brooklyn to go to the train museum on a spare day. He's right down at the train museum.
wow.
So I'm familiar with the fact that some people, it's like Rain Man, right? Remember that movie Rain Man? What? Why are you laughing
It's just
at me?
funny because you're so connected to this community and
Yeah.
you know so much about it.
Yeah.
And yet your
I
two
sound
things you've said
stereotypical?
so far
I'm
have been autistic people like trains and Rain Man's about a guy like yeah.
Some people with autism have very narrow and deep many autistic deep focused interests. There
Yeah.
you go. And trains happen to be.
It's a stereotype to assume all autistic people are obsessed with trains, just many of them.
No, I didn't say they all are. I said
No,
that
you did not
very
say that.
often autistic people
Have
are
special interests.
have very specific, deep, focused special interests.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's no accounting for why. So I'm going to like to go back and say your interest in Nazism that started when you were 8 years old, and presumably both your parents are Indian, or are you adopted, or you have two white parents who were very interested in Hitler
Yeah.
and Nazism? I mean, where does that come from? It's fascinating.
I mean, I was really interested in it from a young age. I just don't have autism, so I moved
What were you interested in?
Nazism.
What age?
From the time I learned about the Holocaust before I had the sex talk.
Did we have dinner conversations about Nazism?
You guys don't shut the fuck up about the Holocaust. Every Jewish family does not shut the fuck up about
that
the Holocaust. One, that's true. And two, you send us to Hebrew school.
Yeah.
And Hebrew school
is just, you may as well just call it Holocaust school.
it was pretty I remember very little from Hebrew school other than the following speech.
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait.
Jews are always persecuted.
True. And by the way, if you need to have any more evidence, look at what's going on today.
Oh, I don't know you want to go there. You want to say Jews are persecuted today?
I'm saying that there's been a humongous
rise
resurgence
in
in
anti-Semitism in America. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And not just in America, in Canada, which I'm shocked
Sure,
about.
sure.
In Europe, in France, in London. Okay.
And that's been conflated with other Jews that are not Israeli are being conflated, and all Jews are being attacked for Israel's actions.
Right.
Would you say that's fair?
I would say
that Israel is doing some bad stuff, and many Jews are experiencing anti-Semitism who have nothing to do with all that bad stuff that Israel is doing as a result?
Yes, and I would also say that many Israelis may not be in favor of what the Israeli government is doing either, and they're also being branded with the same... Yeah.
Listen, different generations of Jews.
Yeah.
We're reaching across the aisle together. You all know my views if you know me, but this is like Thanksgiving dinner. You got to work on them.
The turkey.
You gotta, get the edge of. You got to find the Venn diagram of what they agree with and what you agree with, and you got to find a little diplomacy. So that's
I think
diplomacy.
We can both agree, which is interesting because even your brother has said that he has been the recipient of anti-Semitic comments, and so as have you.
Yeah, of course.
So I think we can both agree, no matter what our generations are, and no matter what we do or do not agree about in Israel, that we have experienced a huge resurgence in anti-Semitism.
I agree totally.
Okay.
I think on the internet, especially, there's a huge rise in anti-Semitism, and I think there's a lot of fuck Israel, and the edges of fuck Israel blur. Like, people will see a video where I say I'm Jewish, say nothing about Israel. If you're commenting fuck Israel, free Palestine, you've conflated
the fact that you're Jewish.
The fact that I'm Jewish with the state of Israel.
Right.
And no matter what you believe about either of those two things.
Right. They don't like you because you're Jewish.
To think that they're the same thing
is
anti-Semitic, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So we can agree on that. And I love being Jewish, for the record. And I hated Hebrew school. But
for the record.
But that was always because it was a weird time. I was always hungry.
You're always hungry.
Well, yeah, but it was like before dinner. You made us go to fucking Hebrew school. So they preached to us about the Holocaust.
I should have packed you a bacon, egg, and cheese.
The Holocaust.
Yeah.
And then, I honestly would. A lot of times I'd get a secret bacon, egg, and cheese, and I'd have to eat it outside Hebrew school because they wouldn't let us bring our bacon into Hebrew school.
Yeah.
And then because of the Holocaust, the state of Israel, and then the state of Israel has always been unfairly under attack. And that was the spiel I got every day. I'm like 12. I just want to jerk off or whatever. I want to explore my body. Mm-hmm. But instead, I'm just being told about the 1967 war in Israel. And
this might be why you're in therapy today.
It was just too much. But what happened, and this was my understanding of like everything I heard as a kid, is like people want to kill Jews and they will kill you. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had a lot of unnecessary fear as a rich kid growing up on the Upper East Side of Manhattan about being murdered by Nazis. Shoulder? And I had this recurring dream where I was in a concentration camp. You didn't know this as a kid? So I used to have this recurring dream where I was in a concentration camp, but because I was a kid, I didn't understand what concentration camp meant. So to me, when I first heard concentration camp, I thought it was a camp where you had to concentrate the whole day, which sounded just as bad as they were like, it was horrible.
That was
I was like,
worse.
I know, you got to like stare and do nothing and concentrate.
Right.
So in this dream, there was like a fire, and which is interesting because there were fires at the concentration camps to kill people. Or to burn their bodies or whatever. Mm-hmm. To burn their bodies. But by the way, I have the funniest story that I want to tell you after this.
I can't wait.
It's Holocaust related.
Okay. I'm sure it's a real upper. Yeah.
It's really funny. Mm-hmm. So I would have this dream where I'd be sitting at Auschwitz and they would make me concentrate on this fire and I'd have to stare at it until I died. And that was like my recurring dream as a kid. Wow. So I had this like weird fear of because one thing that I might, of course, if you're a Jewish person, you have to pass down the story. Like that's a big part of Jewish culture. So of course I will tell my children about the Holocaust and our family's connection to it. Obviously, neither of our direct grandparents are Holocaust survivors. However, all of your mom's side, pretty much all of her aunts and uncles pretty much died in the Holocaust, right? Didn't get out of Poland.
My grandmother.
Your grandmother.
On both sides.
Yeah. So all of your
Right.
grandmother's siblings, right?
Correct.
So your mother's aunts and uncles,
Correct.
right?
That's right.
All because we come from Poland.
That's correct.
And your grandmother, Bubby Cooper, got out of Poland, moved to Canada. Everyone that stayed behind died in the Holocaust.
Correct. Yeah.
So, of course, that's a story of our family. Of course, I'll pass it down. I think Dad's family's been here longer.
He likes to say that they came over on the Mayflower.
Yeah. He's like proud of that. He's
Yeah,
like, we're
my
real
family's been
Americans,
here
but we're
for-
Jewish still on that side.
Yeah, but we sail and we golf.
Yeah. We're the good ones.
Yeah.
But
Even though we look a little Semitic, but don't
yeah.
let that fool
Yeah,
you.
we
still
do.
know how to sail.
yeah, he looks Jewisher than you guys did.
I think it's more Jewish, not Jewisher.
Jewisher.
But please continue.
So of course I'll tell my kids about it. One thing I'll try not to do is make my kids think that they're at imminent risk of dying in a Holocaust. And I don't always think it was clear to me that I was kind of under the belief that there could be like a Holocaust at any point, which is sort of part of the Jewish way of thinking. And I'm not sure that's like a great way of thinking.
You know, what I love about storytelling, parenting, we say something to you. I have no idea what it was we said to you or they said to you in Hebrew school, but there's no way to know how it's received. So I may have said something like, my grandparents' siblings died in the Holocaust, and you heard, oh my God, I'm walking down Park Avenue and somebody's going to kill
fucked.
me.
Yeah, there's
exactly.
Nazis everywhere.
So you're going to, when you say, I'm not going to communicate the story that way, I hear you, but there's no way to know how your children are going to hear it or receive it.
That's true. But then I took a special, I can't call it a special interest because I'm not autistic, I don't think. So I would just kind of look into this stuff and move on. But like when I was growing up, it was still like the early age of the internet. So the KKK had a website that you could just go to. Nowadays, like if there's a hate group that is forming online, not to say that there aren't, I think there's an online forum called Stormfront. I don't know if Stormfront still exists, but I remember it used to be a thing where neo-Nazis and white supremacists could like communicate. Obviously, like in Instagram comment sections, like a pretty good safe haven for white supremacists and neo-Nazis. And there's a lot of coded Nazi language. Yeah, it's a neo-Nazi
internet forum.
It's the first major racial hate. So I'd go on Stormfront and I would go on the KKK's website, just fascinating to like understand that these people still exist and they're out there and kind of like learn about them and what they're saying and what they're thinking. Nowadays, it is kind of like you get to the wrong side of Instagram and you can see, the two lightning emojis means SS and there's different coded language for like neo-Nazis, and there's probably more neo-Nazis now than there were when I was a kid.
I'm interrupting you for a second because as I was coming to the studio today, I was listening to World News, the BBC World News, and they were doing a report on something that was going on in, I think it was in Lebanon, believe it or not. And they're talking about the, conversations. And there was a woman they interviewed who said, I'm pro Hezbollah, and Hezbollah is a group that is committed. They're committed to the eradication of Jews. Okay, it's not about two-state. Yeah, exactly. It's not about two-state solution. It's not about let's find peace. It's about let's kill off all the Jews. And I thought to myself,
let's just make sure that it's in their charter. I just want to make sure everything she's saying is factual.
Yeah, let's not double check Lucas. Let's just double check me.
No, let's just double check.
Let's not go back and make sure that the Hebrew school curriculum
I'm not
really
saying
did
anything
involve
good about Hezbollah. I just don't want you to say something that's patently false.
Okay, feel free to
because
Google away.
I
Anyway,
love you dearly, but when it comes to
Hezbollah is a terrorist group.
Yeah.
Hezbollah is a terrorist group.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go. Hezbollah, Party of God, is heavily armed Shiite Muslim militant group, political party based in Lebanon. So I was right. Operating a state within a state, one of the most powerful non-state actors. What does it say?
Do they have anything explicitly in their charter
or
that
their
is
mission
committed to the
statement?
eradication of the Jewish people?
classified as a terrorist organization by the United States and more than 60 other countries. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
Anyway, you can keep looking while I finish my story.
It's not popping
So
up.
here's what I was thinking. Okay.
Destruction of the state of Israel. But
Thank
that is
you.
not, but by the way, that is not the same as killing all Jews. That is not, just as we say Jews are
Okay.
not Israel,
Fine.
Israel is not Jews.
Okay, fine. They are committed to the eradication of the state of Israel, okay, which, by the way, was founded by a UN charter in 48. But let's not go history.
Yeah,
My
well,
whole
we don't-
point was, while I was listening to that,
You guys forgive her for she is
educated.
you're
Forgive
s-
me for my education.
but she's between 60 and 70 years old. And a lot of her family died in the Holocaust. There's only so
Much we can do with her. Anyway,
diplomatic
here's what I was
view
thinking.
she's going to have on the state.
Here's what I was thinking while I was listening to the radio.
Yes.
I was thinking, if I could meet that woman and just sit down and have a cup of coffee with her and say, and just chat, okay? And then at the end of the conversation say, by the way, I'm Jewish. We'd be friends. And all I could think of was, it was breaking my heart. I thought, if we could all just sit, don't laugh. I mean, I know it sounds overly simplistic. If we could all sit down, instead of it being them and us and Jews and Muslims, if we could sit down and have a cup of coffee, they'd like me. Okay, fine.
This being said by like a rich woman from New York City is just the funniest thing ever.
No,
But I was
didn't mean it like-
actually going to say something as well.
Yeah.
It's like kind of stupid to say, but I have a dream.
I think Martin
That
Luther
one
King also
day,
had a dream. Yeah.
Little white boys and little black boys could sit down and have lunch together.
Okay. You're being snarky. I don't like it. Okay. And I like that dream, just so you know.
Yes. Yeah, I know your heart's in the right place.
No, but I just thought, what does everybody hate each other for?
Yeah. But when it comes to the geopolitical state of the Middle East,
Okay, let's go back to our.
everyone has, by the way, on both sides, has
Yeah.
quite a lot of reason to hate each other.
Yes, but I just.
But
yes,
interpersonally, I agree they
Yes.
could maybe have lunch,
exactly.
bond over some movies or
Sushi.
something.
We could all
Yeah.
have sushi together.
Yes. Yeah. We
Yeah.
could send everyone in the Middle East to Japan to have omakase.
No, why we could bring omakase to them?
Oh.
They can't
Delivery
all-
sushi sucks.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's go back to our woman for a
Wait,
minute.
wait, wait, wait. Our woman. Oh, hold on.
Our caller.
Wait, I wanted to say something. Not this story, which I also want to tell.
Yeah, the funny one about
The funny one.
Holocaust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had I had like an autistic level of special interest,
Right.
I might have gone down this rabbit hole because I was, as a kid, you're like fascinated by fear, I think, or at least I was a little bit. So it was like, it was neo-Nazism. Growing up like after 9/11 and growing up in New York during 9/11, I was fascinated with terrorism and Al-Qaeda, the propaganda videos that they made. I'd go on the internet and watch that.
Do you remember the story when we went to Paris?
Yeah, of course. Like I used to be legitimately just terrified of Muslim people because I was in New York on 9/11, and what the news told me was Muslim people are terrorists pretty much, and that's what like kind of was the vibe in New York.
But I think it wasn't even Muslim people. I don't think you were sophisticated enough to single out somebody. But you and I went to Paris.
It was a
by
guy in a
ourselves,
turban that scared me.
and we were, and all of a sudden you said to me, "It's going to be a terrorist attack. We got to go home," and we had to run.
By the way, can I say something? I'm pro-Palestine. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
I understand the fascination with horrible shit. I understand it. And I too felt it. The funny story I want to tell you, and then let's get back to advice for this woman, was we have some people in the comedy world. One of them is he's a comedy manager. He's and this story was told to me secondhand. He's Jewish, loves the state of Israel, loves just a really intense Jew. Actually, interestingly, like has an obsession with how horrible the Holocaust was, is also a Sephardic Jew.
Can he come for dinner? I like him already.
But he's a Sephardic Jew. I'm like, you guys weren't involved.
You don't count as a Jew.
It was an Ashkenazi Jewish genocide,
Okay.
but whatever. No hate towards our Sephardic brothers and sisters. We
Okay.
have a Sephardic Jew in our family, so
Yes.
you know,
Okay.
all love.
Please continue.
But he's talking about how horrible the Holocaust was. 6 million Jews died. How can people ever question that number? How can people ever? And someone else who was there was like, totally, 6 million Jews died. How could you ever question that number? He was like, he goes to the guy, he was like, also like, there were black people were killed in the Holocaust,
Gay
disabled
people,
gay
yep.
people,
Yep.
Gypsies were killed in the Holocaust.
Yep.
He was like, do you happen to know like the total number of everyone that died in the Holocaust, not just Jews? And without thinking about it, he goes, well, there'd be no way to count. I mean, he goes, how could you ever count?
Oh, because 6 million is so specific, but we can't count for the others.
He was like, I mean, it would be impossible how could you ever put a number to that? Anyway, it was really funny. I think there is a total number, by the way. Like, I think it's 9 or 10 million, something like that. I do think there's like a total estimated number. It was just funny that was his knee-jerk
Right,
reaction.
exactly.
Do you have something for this one?
I do. One, I love the fact that she's saying she's autistic, because a lot of people mask, it's called masking, or don't self-disclose, or ashamed or embarrassed. So the fact that she says, I'm autistic, I give her a lot of credit, and she's leading with that, and hopefully people will have a little more empathy. And if she says, I'm autistic, I don't know why I developed this crazy fascination with Nazism, and this has been the one thing that I dove into, if she leads with that, I think people are going to be more sympathetic. That's the first thing. Secondly, there's only so much people want to hear about any one topic. So when you're autistic, you have to be redirected anyway. So if it's trains or whatever your specific interest is, nobody wants to hear about it. So the fact that nobody wants to hear that much about Nazism, yes, a little more charged, but you have to sort of, if you're aware enough to know you're autistic, then you have to be aware enough to know that probably people are not interested in hearing for hours about any one topic about which you are obsessing. Nazism even a little bit more charged.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God you're brown, because if you weren't a brown person, you'd really be in trouble. If you were a blonde Aryan, it would be really bad.
Yeah, it'd be a tough look.
It would be tough. And I think you just lead with the fact that I'm autistic and this is crazy and this is my one obsession. And why don't you shut me up when you've had enough?
Mm-hmm.
How's that sound?
Here's what I'd recommend. Have some friends who know that you're learning German, and have some friends who know you're obsessed with Nazism, and see if you can make those different people. Because I think when you're into Nazism and you're learning German, that's what tips it over the edge for me. Like if I were a jury and we were going off a case and the case was, is this person a Nazi? I don't think you're a Nazi beyond reasonable doubt, ever. You're a brown woman. But the preponderance of the evidence when someone who's into Nazism starts learning German starts making my Nazi radar go.
So
bing,
I
bing,
think
bing,
we
bing,
have
bing.
some good advice for her. Learn Hebrew.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she should learn Hebrew instead. What do you think?
Maybe learn German and Hebrew. Learn Yiddish.
Yiddish.
Learn Yiddish.
There you go.
Learn Yiddish.
Yeah.
You're
Because
my-
you know Yiddish is a form of German.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So yeah.
You're
So just tell them you're learning
Learn
Yiddish, not
Yiddish.
German.
learn
Yeah.
Yiddish.
Okay. What else?
That's the solution.
Okay.
Yeah, Yiddish is it's German, right?
Yeah.
Is it German? Is the base language?
It's low,
Germanic.
Yes, it is. I think it's a low.
It's a dialect of
yeah,
German.
I was going to come up with a dialect word. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, or is it Polish?
No,
It's not Polish.
German.
Okay. So
Our fact checker is not helping us out here. Okay.
Yiddish is not a dialect of German.
Like
It is
we
a
said, it's not a dialect
It
of
is
German.
a separate, independent Germanic
Germanic
language. While they
language.
share common linguistic ancestors, they're distinct languages, much like Spanish and Italian. So
So, like we said, we're experts and
yeah.
listen to everything we say.
know everything.
Yeah, exactly. We still think she should learn Yiddish.
Yeah.
This hasn't changed our minds.
Yeah, you learn Yiddish.
Yeah.
Learn Yiddish.
Yeah.
You're Meshuggah for all this. but-
Exactly.
but
And
learn
by
it
the way,
nonetheless.
possibly wear a Jewish star around your neck. What do you think?
Yeah, but you can maybe skip that one.
No, I think that would be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Convert to Judaism, and then you can learn about Nazism all you want.
Yes. Then you could explain that the reason you're so obsessed with the Holocaust is
you're
because
a
you lost
Jew.
and some of your ancestors died in the Holocaust.
Yeah, there you
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, we've solved this problem.
We have.
We're going to do one more advice question to close out this episode.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
how do you get out of the Nepo baby stigma? Like, how do you prove your worth without people always crediting your parents for what you've done?
I thought this was an interesting question because it's been kind of coming up recently.
In what way? Tell me.
Did you not know this?
No.
I had this video that went very viral. And it was of me doing crowd work with a trans woman who builds rockets for our military. I don't know if you saw this video.
I did see this, yeah.
It went onto Twitter and it went really viral there. And there became a slight side conversation about, you know, I was on some, I guess I'm in the place of being on a slight moral high ground, which is saying it's bad to build weaponry for the U.S. military, which is sort of like a left-leaning or leftist view. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, well, he's a fucking rich kid with a CEO dad. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on by saying someone else is being immoral financially. And then some other people were in the thread being like, well, his dad's like an entertainment CEO. I mean, of all things, it's not exactly building weapons for the U.S. military, of all things that could be bad. And then someone else is like, I just think it's really gross that he's like a rich kid. And then they pointed to the fact that dad's private equity company bought Second City, which is a comedy troupe.
Yeah.
And they said, and this is what people do on the internet, is they go, how convenient that his dad bought him a comedy theater so he could learn how to do comedy.
Right.
First of all, let me say a couple things. One, I'm a Nepo baby in that I got exactly where I was because of a lot of help. Also hard work, but because of a lot of help. One of the main things I had, and you never should underestimate this, is the spirit of someone with a safety net. I had the confidence of a person with a financial safety net. Mm-hmm. And if you want to know whether I think I'm a rich kid that's gotten a lot of help to get where I am, listen to my comedy act or anything I say publicly, because I talk about it constantly. Now, that said, did my dad buy me a comedy theater? He did not. He bought an improv company. I do stand-up comedy, a very famous improv company where they have teams that do improv shows, and I've never performed at the Second City in Chicago. I have actually performed at the Second City in New York, but that's because they do stand-up shows. So I did, but they were not all of them were aware that my daddy owned the place. Some of them I'm sure were, but no one said anything to me about it when I performed there. But I also perform at the Comedy Cellar, which is the best comedy club in the world. Is
this a commercial for you? I just want to know. I'm bored to tears, but please continue if you feel you have to justify yourself.
I guess I felt like I'm okay with the spirit.
You can catch my show at the Comedy Cellar. I'll be on at 9:00 tonight.
I'm okay with the spirit of me being a Nepo baby.
Right.
Sometimes people then go down the thread and they start saying all kinds of things.
Define for me what a Nepo baby is.
I think a Nepo baby typically refers to like entertainers that are more successful than I am. I'm like not really successful enough, in my opinion, to classify as one.
Is it exclusively for entertainers or anybody who's a banker or any field where they get a leg up because they
Nowadays, it could be anyone that has a leg up. I think like some of the famous...
Usually a celebrity, model, or public figure who is perceived to have gained the success or opportunity due to their famous, wealthy, or highly connected parents.
Yeah.
I'd like to be better connected. Okay, please continue.
I mean, I would say like a prime example of someone that's like ultra successful is like Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter, Maya Hawke. She's really talented.
Really talented.
But you don't want to defend Nepo babies. Point is like, could she have gotten where she was as quickly as she got without her dad being Ethan Hawke and her mom being Uma Thurman? Probably not. Would I get to where I was as quickly as I did without my parents being you and dad? I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm going to just jump in for a second because in my mind, we didn't do anything for you.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
When you started to do stand-up, right, did we make a single call? In fact, I went to your first show and I thought, God, I can't bring any of my friends here or call anybody because your first show was so bad. Did we make a single call or do anything that advanced your career in a way that would have gone forward if you didn't have any talent.
It's not exactly about that. You didn't from the beginning. When I was completely and utterly had no career whatsoever and was unsuccessful, no one was trying to do me any favors to get me a career. And the way that I got a career was through the internet. And the internet was just watching clips. And people, a lot of like allegations on the internet about me are that I used my family's money to hire a camera crew to film my sets early on. That's completely false. I filmed all my first sets via my iPhone. We all have an iPhone.
Right.
So like there's a bunch of shit that's not true. What is true is a couple things. One is I had the confidence of a person who had money.
That is correct.
And I was willing to take that risk.
But you had that, fortunately or unfortunately, right? I'll tell you a story. It goes back to our last episode about Lee, okay? There's a whole system where you can get state funding for services for your child if they have special needs, right? And I went in to my hearing, and I was getting services for Lee, and Lee was not walking. She was 2. She was not walking, and she was not talking, and I was getting state-funded PT, physical therapy for Lee. And the woman said to me, it was shocking, the woman said to me, oh, she's got 2 older brothers. She'll be chasing them up the stairs in no time. Okay? Now, Lee was significantly delayed, and it was so shocking to me that woman was so callous and so fucking clueless. I can still boil thinking about it. And I remember thinking at the time, I'm so lucky because I can afford to pay for the physical therapy that she needs. And if I couldn't afford, and this woman just cut off my funding, which she did, right?
Sorry, I think you buried the lead. She cut your state funding?
She cut my funding. She told me Lee didn't need PT because she'd be
when
chasing the boys up the stairs in no time.
I see. Okay.
Right?
I didn't understand that that's what she did when she cut your
She cut off my funding. She said, your daughter doesn't need PT anymore. I said, she's 2 years old and she's not walking.
Yeah.
She'll be chasing her brothers up the stairs in no time. That's what she told me. And I remember thinking at the time 2 things. One, I'm so lucky because my daughter needs this desperately. She's not walking. I don't know if she's ever going to walk, and I can afford to pay out of pocket. And 2, because I knew that, I had a sense of confidence that I could either buck the system, take her up, I could fight her, I didn't feel like...
You felt empowered rather than helpless.
Exactly. And I think what you're describing as being a Nepo baby is you're raised in a way where you feel empowered rather than helpless.
Yeah, and belief in the system. And also, I can list a bunch of help that I got. I mean, one aspect of help, which is or isn't, it's all connected. Do you know what I mean? Because of who I was, because of my perspective, when I started talking about this stuff on stage, and honestly, as like a personality in comedy, the people that connected with it most were other like
Nepo
rich
babies.
kids whose parents were the CEOs of major. So it was like
there aren't enough of those to go around to build your audience.
By the way, like
honey.
my show in LA this year,
right?
The fucking I'm with WME. I'm represented at WME. I don't need an agency. But the CEO.
But if you want to call him and offer him a better deal,
and offer me a better deal,
yeah,
I can use it as leverage to get my agents to do more for me.
Correct. Yeah.
But the CEO of UTA walked in because his daughter was a fan.
Nobody knows what UTA is.
There's 3 big talent agencies: CAA, UTA, WME. I'm at one of them. The CEO of one of the other ones walked in and was like, "Hey, my daughter's a big fan. Can we come into the show?" Now, I don't need an agent, but if I did, the fact that the CEO's daughter likes me because I'm a CEO kid and talk about
That's not why she likes you. She likes you because you're funny. And nobody likes you because your father is the CEO of something.
Some people like my brand of honesty about...
Yes,
I talk
because
about
you're
that.
funny about it. Not be, I mean, if
But
you...
I'm just saying the kids that like it are the kids that are powerful. So it's all it's an unfair advantage.
There's a big difference between somebody who has no talent...
But I don't think that's what anyone's saying about these Nepo babies. Because if you think of all the classic Nepo babies,
right.
like Lily Rose Depp, for example, who's Johnny Depp's daughter, she's really pretty because she's Johnny Depp's daughter. She's
What does
someone
she do?
She's an actress and a model, I think. And
Does she have any talent?
yeah, I think people think she does. I don't really know her very well, but also like
She's got big lips.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Well, I'm just observing.
No, that's fine.
Nepo lips.
She has Nepo lips. I guess like what I'm saying is like, it's not like she's some talentless bag of garbage. It's just the idea that she's got all this stuff, but if she were born in rural Indiana, there'd be no way for her to get from there to where she is. But because
I think it would be harder.
Yeah,
to
sure.
get.
There's not no way. Like
Correct.
Barry Keoghan was like a foster kid or something and got there off pure acting talent. But like
Our generations, I don't even know I don't know who Barry Keoghan is. I don't know who this woman is. Please continue. Yeah.
The point is, if your parents' friends are walking around and are connected,
Right.
and you're a little talented, they may be inclined to help. And the truth is that as soon as I did catch some motion,
Right.
an agency where you guys knew people were the first to come knocking at my door. So were they knocking at my door before my career was going well of my own accord?
No.
No.
Would they have signed you if you didn't have any talent? No.
No. And would they have signed me if they didn't know you guys? Probably.
Yes.
Certainly now any of
And-
the agencies would sign me.
Right.
But they probably came in a little earlier and they were probably a little bit more attentive because they knew who I was.
What was the question the woman asked?
How do I get out of the Nepo baby stigma? And I guess my answer is I don't, because I am
Right.
one, and that's okay.
Exactly.
But what I will say, and
by the way, it informs who you are. So as we talked earlier, our upbringings really inform who we are, who we become, and sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. And you can't pretend you're not a Nepo
I'm not.
baby. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's interesting. It's almost like harder for like an actor or a musician, I think, than a comedian. Because especially the way I do comedy, it's like it would be impossible. For an actor, you can go be a different character, right?
Or change your name like Nicolas Cage just did.
Sure.
Okay.
Or just changed his name?
Yeah.
Who's he now?
I didn't know this until 2 days
Oh,
ago.
he's Nicholas Coppola.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
He legally changed his name.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, as an actor, you can change your name, and then you're like a pirate, and no one's like that
Or
pirate.
you're anonymous.
No, but I mean like in the movie, like you're playing a pirate.
Right. Maybe you should change your name from Lucas Zelnick to what?
Lucas Carl.
I thought about that actually.
I
Your
don't
middle
want a
name is
stage name.
Carl.
I'm proud of my last name. I'm proud that it's Semitic sounding.
Okay, good.
I'm proud that people know I'm
Pro-Palestine.
a Jew. Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
pro-Palestine Jew. Sue me, folks.
Blah, blah, blah.
So
Okay, please
don't-
continue.
blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah.
You're not going to read well. Let me get a take of that. I'm a pro-Palestine Jew.
Blah, blah,
No.
blah, blah. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Anyway,
This
go
is
on.
so not going to be good for you on the internet.
Am I entitled to my own opinions?
You
You feel free to edit them if you want.
Says? Yeah, we'll see. We'll take a good look at this one in post.
Okay, fine.
Luckily, they have 2 weeks to edit this one.
And
'cause
luckily,
they're
we're
gonna
not
need it.
mentioning Jeffrey Epstein. Okay?
We just did, apparently.
There you go.
Well, that was another thing that came up on the thread is they go, did you know that, because now it's on your dad's Wikipedia page article that you dated Jeffrey Epstein in the 80s.
That's where it shows up on my dad's Wikipedia page. I love
so
that.
they pulled this. They go, his dad is a CEO. His mom dated Jeffrey Epstein in the 80s. By the
Yeah.
way, people are fascinated to know more about that.
Fascinating.
But also, I'm like, I guess the point is like they're just like evil people. But it's like you were a kid when you dated Jeffrey Epstein for 3 months. And also, how would Jeffrey Epstein have helped my comedy career? Actually, he may, because I'm going to be talking about him on stage.
You do that.
Come to some shows this year.
Yeah.
You might just hear.
more plugging for your
Yeah,
tickets.
come to some
Okay.
shows this year.
Let's go back for a
lucaszelnick.com.
second.
Yeah.
I think that if you don't have talent, you don't have talent.
Yeah.
And
But I think there's
so-
a big spectrum. And if you are a little talented,
Right.
or even
No, I think if
kind of talented,
right.
or even pretty talented,
Right.
let's say this.
How would you rate yourself in that scale? Are you a little talented?
I think I'm like pretty talented, but I don't think I'm the chosen one when it comes to so far in my
Right.
development.
Right.
Like when you watch comedians at the top of their game, let's take John Mulaney as an example. You watch that guy, especially when he was young, and you go, he
wow.
understood stand-up comedy, joke writing, storytelling in a prodigy type way. And I know a couple other comedians in my class. I'll point to someone that like a lot of comedians think is a prodigy right now, Maddie Weiner. Shout out Maddie Weiner. People think of Maddie as like she walks on water. I would agree.
Me too.
I don't think I walk on water. I think I'm pretty damn good at crowd work, and I think my joke writing is getting really good as I work on it. But I don't think I took to it as a prodigy. I think I was pretty talented. And I think the most fair thing you can say about most successful Nepo babies, and whether you think I count as a successful one, I don't know that I do, compared to Lily Rose Depp or like Maya Hawke or these people that are like actual celebrities. I'm not. I'm just a guy with a little motion on the internet. But I think the harshest thing you could say about them is they're kind of talented and they got huge. And I think that would be like a fair criticism of me. But I'm doing my best and I'm not huge.
I mean, look, maybe I'm naive.
Mm.
I'm going to go back to my original point. Who you are and the confidence you have comes from being a Nepo baby. Okay? Comes from knowing that if some shit happens in the world, you're going to get help. Or the same way I felt when that woman denied me PT. Okay?
Yeah.
But if you're not talented, you're not talented. And there's nothing we could do to help you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wholly untalented, you'd be shocked. You meet
if
some
you
rich
were
kids.
minimally talented, Lucas,
Yeah,
we didn't, and also
I'd say it starts at kind of talented. At kind of talented, the motion starts. They start pushing you in the right direction.
the other day something happened, and I can't remember what it was. And it was, you were up for a role or something, and I knew somebody, and I said to Daddy, how about if I just call and don't tell Lucas that I made the call? And Daddy said, absolutely not. He said he doesn't want any help. He's doing it on his own. So I don't think
And by
we
the
have
way,
done a single thing.
If you're watching this,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it on my own. I do want help. I want all the roles I can get. The reason why I tell them not to help is I just don't think it's a good look, and I don't think it's compelling.
So if I help behind
No,
the scenes,
I
and
don't
you
think
didn't
it's
know.
compelling when your parents call one of their friends to say,
Right.
look at my kid. Period. The end.
Okay,
Full
fine.
stop.
Okay.
But like if fucking Chris Rock caught my set at the Cellar and said, this guy's great, I want to help him, I would take that help all day. I just don't think
That's different, though.
biased but yeah, but that's still a form of help.
That's not Nepo baby help.
I just think Nepo baby help is uncompelling. I don't think you'd be making a good case for me. So even though, sure, I guess in theory, I think it's like kind of wrong to get help that way. More than that, I don't practically think it's a compelling way to help me. And I don't think you're convincing anyone by saying, look how great my kid is.
Okay, well, Daddy told me I couldn't do
you're
it.
my
So
mom.
there you go.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
I probably didn't get that. What was the role?
Oh, they totally trashed you. No.
But so how do you get out of it? You don't.
Right.
You embrace.
Right.
You embrace.
You be honest about who you are.
But this was the thing I was gonna say, and then we can wrap up because I know we're in our final few minutes.
Okay.
But like as a comedian, as an actor, if you're the pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean, or
Right.
in Nick Cage's case, you're the guy stealing the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
No one's necessarily gonna think, I wonder if that guy stealing the Declaration of Independence is uncle is Francis Ford
Right.
Coppola.
Exactly.
But when you're a comedian, you're up there and your job as a stand-up comic, for the most part, not everyone's comedy looks like this, but mine's not very observational. It's to tell people about your life. It's not to play a character. I mean, you play a heightened version of yourself, but I'm relating true stories from my life for an hour on stage. So it was never, in my opinion, I think there are Nepo baby comedians that do just observational humor and they go, oh, you walk into a bagel store and the line's so long.
Right, exactly. Right.
But
You didn't have to lean into who you were as your
My approach
comedy.
to comedy was I
Right.
go, if I talk about myself for an hour, they're going to figure it out whether I tell them explicitly or not. So I might as well just lead with it. So that's what I've done. And if you don't like me, I totally get it. I mean, when someone commented on this podcast, they go, I hate getting to know you personally. Someone said that. They go,
Right.
I hate getting to know you personally.
This is why you're not supposed to read the comments.
I know.
Did they like getting to know me personally?
No, they did not like you at all.
Shit.
They said, your mother reminds me of one of those incredibly grating people that I used to work with who's just awful. And also, I hate getting to know you personally as a comedian.
Wow.
But every time someone hates me, I'm like, I do understand. I do understand.
No, I understand too.
So
And by
I
the
don't
way,
blame you.
I don't pay to listen to you talk about yourself for an hour. And
No one has to pay. This is free on YouTube.
no, but to go to your shows and listen to your stand-up, right?
Right. Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
This is the reverse plug. Don't come to my shows if you
Yeah.
want me to be honest about my background.
Or-
but if you think it's weirdly charming that I'm honest about it rather than running from it, that's my approach. So to answer this person's question, people will credit what they will credit to my parents. And in certain instances online, it is completely false. Like, I'll say this, crediting dad for buying Second City as a way that it was never a place or a way that I got stage time.
I will also say that at the dinner table, Lucas told his father to not buy it specifically because that would be a problem.
I begged him not
yes,
to,
you
but
did.
he did buy it.
Can you believe he didn't listen to you? Oh my God.
He also goes, and they were like, and now Second City's ruined. It's some like private equity, whatever. And then dad goes, it was going out of business if we didn't buy it. So we actually saved it. And I go, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy that gets on the podcast and defends private equity transactions.
Although you just did, kind of.
Well, that's his perspective.
Okay.
I am just a set of ears in that conversation.
Yes, I'm just a Nepo baby.
I do not stand up for private equity
Yeah.
or for rich people, though I am one, and I do appreciate the benefits of being one. And that's pretty much my self-conflicting take on the whole thing.
Lovely chatting with you, Lukey.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back, I don't know when. We're going to have to get some more records on the books.
And by the way, if you want us to get some more records, make a note of it in the comment section. Don't say your mother's grading. Say I would like to hear more about it.
Yeah, say something nice.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you got this far.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.